Why do I always struggle with this? I never have an intro.
Whoa, it's Queen B, nigga. Jump off. I've been gone for a minute, now I'm back with the jump off. Goons in the club, case something jump.
Alright, for real, y'all, I know it's been a minute. And I've been just not consistent, working on it. Last time we talked, I told y'all about my quarter life crisis that I was having, kind of still having. You know, it's under wraps a little bit now. Like, I'm getting it together. So that's where I've been trying to get my life. But you know, we got plans. We're setting into action in 2019. And I'm not a New Year's resolution type of person, so not like new year, new me. No, because it's Friday night at 8:45 and I'm just now recording this video that I've been telling y'all is gonna be out on Saturday. So no, like, I'm still procrastinating. It's not a new year, new me. I'm just, you know, trying to get it done. No matter what time it is, how late I wait, we just taking action this year. We getting things done. Whatever. We'll work on procrastination later. So this video is going to be the first installment video for our hair growth challenge that we're gonna start in February. And I asked you all on Instagram what your hair challenges were, what you struggle with, and if a hair growth challenge is something that you all would be interested in. And I got a lot of good feedback, which I kind of wasn't expecting. Like, I don't know, I just, whatever. Try not to set the bar too high because then I'd be like disappointed. But y'all came through and showed out, showed love. So now here we are. With all the feedback that I did get though, I felt like, why you gotta be disrespecting me, Misha? Mind your business. Sorry. With all the feedback that I did get though, I felt that it would be more beneficial for me to do 3 videos that like span the entire hair growth challenge and how we're gonna do it, instead of trying to jam pack it all into one video. So most importantly, what I've been learning along my natural hair journey, which maybe not even the whole journey, because maybe just up until recently, because I'm really about to learn all of this like in depth with y'all. But it's about hair porosity, which I feel like nobody really talks about. Everybody's so wrapped up in hair typing and what type of curls do you got and blah, 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 blah. Mine are loose and mine are kinky and blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever, like, we got curls. But what's most important is our hair porosity. And basically, porosity is just referring to your hair's ability to, I'm busy, Misha. Referring to your hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture. And then that's broken into 3 subcategories, which you can either have low porosity, normal, or high porosity hair. And I thought that it was very important for us to first start with this before we actually dive into the hair growth challenge, because like, we need moisture. If your hair is dry, it's brittle and crusty and it's not growing, like it's just probably breaking off. So we need proper moisture, and to get proper moisture we need to be informed and knowledgeable about our hair. So this is the steps that we're going to take. We're going to learn about our hair along these 3 weeks, as well as going to grow it, because if you don't love your hair, it's not going to love you, and you ain't going to grow them tresses. Okay, we'll start with low porosity. Low porosity hair basically means that the cuticles on the hair shaft are closed really tightly, which make it hard for moisture to penetrate the shaft, and it also can make it difficult for moisture to release from the hair. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced it. I haven't, but I've heard people talk about it. Their hair feeling like gummy and stretchy. I don't know. I've never experienced it, but maybe you have, and that the reason may be because you have low porosity hair. But also another way to maybe kind of gauge it is whenever you're washing your hair. If it takes really long for you to completely saturate your hair, like soaking wet, you may have low porosity hair because the cuticles are closed, so it's really hard to like get the water in and get it soaking wet. And then also, like, some people when they do wash and goes, they can't do it on like really wet hair because it's gonna take like 24 plus hours to dry because the cuticles are so shut tight that they're holding on to all the moisture. Blah, blah, blah. So that's low porosity. Normal porosity, which I think maybe some time ago, like last summer or something, I like tried to do a porosity test, and I think I might have been somewhere in like normal to high, but they don't talk about normal porosity hair really. They just say like, oh yeah girl, you normal, you good, like do whatever you doing, like do you boo. And I'm like, well, have some help, some instruction, something. They didn't give it to me. I couldn't find it in my research. High porosity hair is, I'm sure as you can guess, the exact opposite of low porosity, meaning that the cuticles on the hair shaft are open. Like, they refer to this porosity of hair as like it may be damaged or chemically treated, so the cuticles are split. Then whenever your cuticles are that wide open, it's super easy for you to retain moisture, but it's just as easy for you to lose moisture. So like you could put all types of creams and butters and oils and moisturizers, all the moisture you think you can find on your hair, and then maybe hours or a day later, like it's shriveled up dry like the desert, like you never moisturized it. If you feel like that's you may be high porosity. Now, all of these examples that I'm giving are just like examples because they can also fluctuate between all the porosities. So the test that we are going to use to test our porosity is the cup test. The cup test is basically just, we're gonna take a cup of water, like a full cup of room temperature water. I would say don't use cold water because no matter what your porosity is, like cold water shocks the cuticle and closes it. And I wouldn't use hot water because hot water is going to open the cuticle. We want to be right happy medium so that we can get a clear sense of what our natural, like the natural cuticles on our hair are without any outside factors. So cup of room temperature water, and you're going to need freshly washed hair, clean hair, and take a strand of your hair and place it in the cup for about 2 to 4 minutes. Now, if the strand that you put in the cup is still floating at the top, that means that you have low porosity hair. Your cuticles are closed tightly and they weren't absorbing any of the water. If you have normal porosity, that hair strand should be floating somewhere right in the middle of that cup. And then high porosity with the cuticles split and wide open should sink all the way to the bottom. So yes, test for your porosity because you're going to need to know what your porosity is, because the next video leading up to the actual routine for our hair growth challenge I'm going to talk about ways to moisturize your hair based on what your porosity is. Thanks for all the feedback on the hair growth challenge. It's definitely pushing me and holding me accountable, whether you guys know it or not, for creating content for you and staying up on like my hair, as well as like just learning more about natural hair, because this is what I say I want to do. So thanks for interacting with me, holding me accountable, tuning into this video, and I will see you later this week so we can start to moisturize.